Go ahead, I'll let Captain Dice know that he
Right.
wants to sign.
Yeah, let him know. I will notify you guys when I'm ready. That's what he does, right? So I'll notify you when I'm ready.
Good, thank you. Goodbye.
He said, "No, we can't meet. No, we can't meet. We can't do that. Can't be meeting with the public face to face." And why? Why? Because they know when they see me, the public they're not afraid of me. Yeah. Like I don't want to walk around like, oh, no, they're afraid of me. They're not afraid of me. They're afraid of the public. Yeah. And I represent the public, and the public's going to see what they're doing. That's what they're afraid of. And we are back again at the Deland Police Department in Florida, where they just can't seem to get it right. It really is just one thing after another at this department. It's baffling, and I've never seen anything like this from any other department. So today we're coming in for something else, but I get a surprise. This will be explained as we go along here, but then I got another surprise when it suggested that the department did the right thing. I think I was more baffled at that. But never count chickens too early, because just when they seemed to be starting to take a step in the right direction, they tore it all to hell, as they do. I want to point out, some of you aren't going to agree. Some people say there's no such thing as a bad cop or as a good cop. We know there's bad ones, and I appreciate and totally understand that opinion. I feel there are some good ones, and they got some good people here, but their administration really doesn't do them any favors and makes them look really bad, and has shown that they will retaliate against a good one for speaking up against a bad one. Well, let's come inside here and let's be surprised, and then not, shall we? We come inside here and see Corporal Spires is working at the window, and before we even speak, he calls me over to say he's got something for me, some sort of paper, which is completely unexpected. This for me?
Yep.
How ironic.
You've been served. No.
Yeah, I was gonna say, which one is this?
Take a look at it.
So it's a one-page report that I don't recognize, and I'm trying to figure out what it is because I have no idea. Are you When is this?
I was out, so I think it was...
They did a report. They did an incident report.
The evidence is safekeeping.
It's in safekeeping. Oh my God.
So we were talking about it, and you and I...
Yeah.
You told me it went missing, and...
Right.
Because I said, hey, your papers are still there at least.
Right.
You told me all about it, and then, one of them back here was like, oh no, someone brought that in as safekeeping. And I was like, I need that report, because I would do that for anybody else if, you know... If
No, you're right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And there it is.
Look at this. So we just walked in. Corporal Spires here handed me an incident report. For me, honestly, it's made me a little nervous for a second. Because God knows who might, who knows. So what this is, if you remember, I'm going to explain it a little bit better and a little bit faster than I did in the original audio. Previous videos will be linked in the description and in a pinned comment. But here's what this incident report is. Earlier this year, we became aware of an internal investigation by this department into one of their own officers. And this had to do with allegations made against an officer who is still currently an officer by fellow officers. If you've already seen it and you're already familiar with the story, you know that these allegations are disturbing. From our own investigation, they definitely have merit. And I will say that some of the allegations involve juvenile females at a high school and female victims of crimes who have called police, and this officer, Damon Clark, had responded to. So to shorten it, I'll say that, and that the allegations are inappropriate things. Definitely see the previous videos if you've not already. But Damon Clark, he still works here, and he's a corporal and a canine officer. The department did nothing. Most people who read that report, and many officers at this department, are super disturbed that the department did nothing and he's still here. And he's also been very smug about it. It was my personal feeling that he might be a danger, specifically to women. I won't even say women, females. And if the department won't protect the public has to do it. So I made 100 copies of this IA report. I handed hard copies to countless people. I emailed them to even more, and you too, if you've not already gotten a PDF copy for free, email me and I'll send it to you too. But this is a public lobby in a public building, so I put a copy of this report, their own report, in their own lobby. It's public record, right? They shouldn't have a problem with people reading it, and I felt that it's important for people to read it. I even verified with a couple people, hey, it's okay if I leave stuff here, right, for the public to read? They said, yeah, absolutely. There's lots of other things out there for the public to read. I marked the front of the copy that I left in the lobby and highlighted it. I also put that it's the property of TwistedLuckMedia, please don't remove. And I left it there with the sole purpose of public awareness and safety. That same day, the department removed it. So I replaced it. They removed that one. This went on and on. It was administration at the department who was taking these copies of their own report. This would indicate to me that they don't want people to see it. They don't want people to know about it. And technically, that's my property that I paid for, so kind of that's theft. And when I asked administration who keeps taking the copies, they'd say, I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. And it was obvious that they did. Now it is the policy of the Deland Police Department that anytime any property is found or collected, that a report be done to document it, and the property that's been found be placed into evidence for safekeeping. So after they had stolen many, many copies, I submitted a public records request for copies of the reports from when they followed their policy after taking my property. And no records were found. What a shocker, huh? So they were just taking somebody's property and put it in the trash. I guarantee you, if that report was instead a short story that I had written about how amazing the police chief Jason Umberger is, that thing would still be sitting there today. So now it became more alarming that they definitely seem to be hiding this from the public. They want to limit how many people know about this. And this went on for some time. I kept replacing it. Eventually they realized that I would come daily to replace it if needed, all while emailing to countless people PDF copies. They finally left a copy there. It stayed there for some time. Until a few weeks ago, it vanished again. And no, I don't go there every day to check, but I have several sources who will let me know different things. So I found out this latest copy was missing. It had been taken again, and I immediately replaced it. And today, Corporal Spires, when I came in, let me know that Sergeant Salmon, whatever, had placed my property in for safekeeping and did a report. Holy crap, I was shocked. But while all this was going on, I had published a video saying that it appears they're trying to keep the public from hearing about this incident by continuously removing the copies that I'm putting there for the public to read for their safety, and that they're violating their own policy by not filling out a report when they do it. That is when the copies started being left alone. So since that video, that last copy had sat there until recently. And yes, they did take this away again so the public couldn't read it, but they did do a report as their policy requires them. However, they put on here that they don't know who the owner is. Every single person in that department knows exactly whose property that is. Sergeant Salmon described it as a stack of miscellaneous paperwork abandoned in the lobby of the Deland Police Department. Well, he knows exactly what it is. It's not a stack of miscellaneous paperwork. He knows it's not abandoned. Its purpose is written right on the front, if he didn't know, but everybody knows why it's there. But he claims he doesn't know who the owner is and can't be contacted because they don't know whose it is. Aside from them knowing whose it is, it's written right on the front whose it is, along with the email address to contact me. So there's that. But I'm going to get at least one of these copies back, it looks like. Now, Corporal Spires says that department leaves at 3 o'clock, and it's now after 3 o'clock, so I'm going to have to come back. And that, too, is interesting when I come back to retrieve my property. What's going on, sir? How are you?
I'm well. Splendid.
I was hoping to come by and collect my miscellaneous stack of papers.
What's the case number again?
I'll give it to you. Corporal Spires is calling back there to get someone to bring up my property.
There you go. 4923. So you're bring up his papers. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
So she'll be out in just a moment. And the person who comes out is Carol, who is the supervisor of evidence and property. A couple of months ago, a citizen came and saw Carol to retrieve some of her property, which happened to be a vehicle, and she was forcing her to sign a release before they would release this lady's property. She didn't want to sign it. Carol told her, well, you don't sign it, you don't get your stuff back. The lady then took out her phone. She wanted to record so she could have record of that she's being told that. Carol then told her that she will have her arrested if she continues to record her. And many people get scared, they don't know their rights, and she stopped recording. Keep that in mind when she comes out, and keep in mind how difficult it is for citizens to get this administration to do their job. It might sound like I'm just being a jerk, but let's remember, multiple times when I've asked captains and other administration here at this department about the status of records requests that I had placed months prior, very simple ones, just like documents. If they ever respond, it'll just be to say that I'll be notified when it's ready. So keep that under your hat for a minute. Because
she arrested me up on the street there.
Hello.
Mr. Twisted Luck?
Yeah, that's me. Yeah,
There's your papers.
Okay,
I'm
random.
going to ask for a couple of quick signatures. This is my chain of custody, so you'll just print their sign there, and then just flip this over, and this just is the property release. And again, print your name, sign your name.
Okay, I would, if you could give that to, or if you just let Captain Dice know that I will notify you guys when I'm ready to do that.
Then I'll have to hold that until.
Well, this is mine.
I'm not releasing it though. I have to have a signature that I've released it.
Is
to
that
you.
required by law?
It's required by our policy.
I'm not bound by your policy.
All right, go ahead. I'll let Captain Dice know that he
Right.
wants to sign.
Yeah,
Okay.
let him know. I will notify you guys when I'm ready. That's what he does, right? So I'll notify you when I'm
It'll be
ready.
Good. Thank you. Goodbye.
Absolutely. Completely ridiculous for her to think that with everything they put citizens through and the fact that they have stolen my property so many times and given the shady, potentially dangerous reason they keep taking my property. You think I'm going to adhere to your policy in order to get my property back? And then she tries to snatch it back away from me. That's not how this works. And this is not how public service should work. Now, I don't want to take any spotlight away from this incident, the reason that I initially started keeping these reports or bringing these reports in here for the public to read. I still think that's extremely important. Myself and many other people have said this cop is not someone that we would want female family members around. I've got videos of his documented history of problems in that area. And he's in the position that he's in, coming in contact with females and juveniles all the time. And I feel that it's important for the people to at least know who they're dealing with. Again, contact me if you want a copy of that report, if you haven't already gotten one, if you want to read it for yourself. And you can see the copy that they took, that they didn't know who owned it right there. It says who owns it and email address to contact me. This is just another game that this department plays with the public, instead of just simply doing what they're supposed to do. They get so mad at this and so mad at all this attention. You know how to make it go away? Just do the right thing. Share your thoughts on this. Check out some of those linked videos for this backstory if you're not already familiar. Make sure you're subscribed and hit the notifications. Check out some other stuff going on at other departments and stay tuned. There's already a lot of other things going on at this department that the public needs to know about.